Well, hello, word nerds. How's everybody doing today? I am recording this on September 26th at 7:14 a.m. It's a beautiful day. I heard there's some storms coming and some possible floods. Good thing I'll be stuck in a second floor office all day, so I don't have to worry about it. Sitting in front of a computer, that's what I do. Okay, let's talk about the words. The first word is emergency medical technician. 3 words. Noun from 1980. This synonym is EMT. EMT, emergency medical technician. That's a very long phrase to say. The sound effect will be wee-oo, wee-oo. The next word is emergency medicine. 2 words. Noun from 1966. A medical specialty concerned with the care and treatment of acutely ill or injured patients who need immediate medical attention. You go to the emergency room, that's the next word. You go to the emergency room, and there might be a whole bunch of people just sitting there waiting. Even though they all need immediate care, some of them need more immediate care. Somebody who's coming in who just got hit by a car is going to need quicker medical attention than somebody who just needs some stitches. We'll hold on to that. So this is emergency medicine. This is the nurses and the doctors and the people who work at the hospital who are working to help people get their emergency situations figured out very quickly. And it's a stressful job. I don't know how long people can have this job. You got people coming in. You got to be ready for anything. You got to know all the stuff. You got to know all the physical problems, all of the medications, all of the equipment. You got to be very well prepared in emergency medicine. And 1966, that seems late. I think people were having emergencies before then. Wee-oo, wee-oo, yip. They probably work in an emergency room. 2 words. Noun from 1964. Did hospitals not have emergency rooms before 1964? This is a hospital room or area staffed and equipped for the reception and treatment of persons requiring immediate medical care. Yeah, usually not just one room. It's a whole area in a hospital. I don't know, maybe some places have a small emergency room. This is shortened to ER. Let's see. Are we going to see ER in the book? Is it going to send us to emergency room? I would think so. ER is so common. We had the TV show ER, which was a big hit, which I would watch regularly. Yes, we do have ER as an abbreviation later. There was also a play called ER, which I think the TV show was based off of that. Who thought, you know what would make a fun play? Emergency rooms. I was actually in that play, which is the only reason why I know that it exists. In high school, I think I was a junior, maybe? Junior, probably. And I just had a small role. I was one of the people who was injured. I think I had a whole bunch of a bruise makeup. Somebody had hit me, I guess, and we went in, the 2 of us, he had a physical problem and I had a physical problem, and we were fighting, not physically fighting, but we were arguing. We wanted to physically fight. We didn't do that. We didn't do no stage combat, but it was a fun show. Let's see, emergency room. How many times have I been to the emergency room? Well, I cut my finger right on the knuckle. I cut my finger and I got 2 stitches. I had to go to the emergency room for that. When I was a little kid, 3 or 4 years old, I slipped into a wall, a corner of a door, and I had to get 3 stitches up here. You can see a little line there. And I don't remember going to the emergency room. I don't remember actually hitting my head, but I do remember them strapping me into a Velcro cocoon thing so I couldn't move. And then they put the plastic thing over my head with the little hole on my forehead so they could sew it up. And I was screaming bloody murder, and it was very traumatizing. I just remember being there screaming for my mommy. Let's see, any other fun emergency room? Well, we had a friend who had a seizure in the back of our car. when we were on a trip, not in our home area, so we didn't know where the hospital was. Went to the emergency room for that. I woke up one middle of the night with a sharp pain in my back, and it was like, this could be a heart problem, because it was like behind the heart. And we went, did the whole EKG and everything. It was like 2 in the morning, and I think it was just a pinched nerve. So I felt real dumb about that one. Let's see, any other fun emergency room stories? I don't know. I don't really have a lot, but I know some people, they've probably been a lot of times. Yeah, I think that's all I can think of. Emergency room. I don't want to go to the emergency room. I've been with other people, I guess, a couple of times. Let's move on from that fun stuff. Wee, wee, wee. Emergent. First form, adjective from 1593. 1A, arising unexpectedly. Emergent. Oh, I was not expecting that to happen. It emerged. It was emergent. 1B, calling for prompt action, and the synonym is urgent, as in emergent danger. Do you think there's a connection between emergent and urgent? Even though emergent doesn't have any U's and urgent does, they still sure sound similar. Maybe instead of emergency room, it should be the urgency room. It's very urgent that I need my finger fixed, please and thank you. Quite urgent. 2A, rising out of or as if out of a fluid, as in urgent, no, the word's emergent. Emergent coastal islands. So these coastal islands are rising out of the fluid being maybe the ocean, but they're not literally, they are kind of technically rising. They're probably built from volcanoes. They are emergent. They're coming out, the Hawaiian Islands, because the tectonic plates, there's a volcano down there, maybe more than one, and it creates an island, and then the tectonic shifts, the tectonic plates shift, and then there's another one, and then another one, and another one, and that's why they have this sort of like curved thing, because that's the direction, the positioning of the tectonic plates. And so, theoretically, in like thousands of years, there will be more Hawaiian Islands, I guess. 2B, rooted in shallow water and having most of its vegetative growth above water, as in an emergent plant. So it's rooted in shallow water. The bottom of the plant, the roots are in water that is shallow. There's not a lot of it. But most of the plant is above the water. It's emerging out of the water, out of the soil into the water, and then out of the water into the air. And then it stops there. Number 3, arising as a natural or logical consequence. Arising as a natural or logical consequence. Well, yes, that's the natural thing that would happen right after I read those words. Now I'm going to read these words. Those are the emergent words. It's the logical consequence of events. 4, newly formed or prominent, as in emergent nations, brand new countries. What countries are we going to see in the rest of my lifetime? Are we going to have like a USSR breaking down situation? Czechoslovakia got split up. Are we going to see states breaking up in the United States, or people saying, no, we're our own country. We're not part of the United States. We're something else. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I got a whole bunch of years ahead of me. So what will happen with things that emerge? Plants, nations, islands. This word, it's just from the Latin emergere, which I think we saw in emergence. No, emerge, probably emerge, to plunge. Is that what it means? No, that's mergere. It's to plunge, go in, so the E makes it come out. It's a plunging up, plunging out. Wow, 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 wow. The second form of emergent is a noun from 1620. 1, something emergent. An island. We'll just say an island. It's emergent. It's an emergent island. 2A, a tree that rises above the surrounding forest. So it's not emerging from the water or the dirt. I mean, it is emerging from the dirt, but it's specifically an emergent tree because it's above all the other trees. How did it get so big? More protein? I don't know. Number 2B, an emergent plant is an emergent. Is there another siren? I did the siren sound because of emergency room. What's another siren sound? Beep, 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 boop, beep, 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 boop, beep. I don't know if that's real, but I made it up. The next word is emergent evolution. This is a long definition. It is a noun from 1923, 100 years ago this year. Emergent evolution. It is evolution that, according to some theories, involves the appearance of new characters and qualities at complex levels of organization, as the cell or organism, which cannot be predicted solely from the study of less complex levels, as the atom or molecule. And it says compared to creative evolution, which I don't remember what that one said. I'm curious, though. Can we do a quick look back at that one with one hand? Crackingly. Let's see. Where's creative evolution? But let's see. We got create, creationism, creatinine, creative evolution. Evolution, this one's earlier, a little bit earlier than emergent evolution. Creative evolution is evolution that is a creative product of a vital force rather than a spontaneous process explicable in terms of scientific laws. Boy, I need to really sit with this one for a minute. And then emergent evolution is it's probably very obvious. Evolution that, according to some theories, involves the appearance of new characters and qualities at complex levels of organization, which cannot be predicted solely from the study of less complex levels. So the complex ones are the cell or the organisms. They're more complex because the less complex ones are the atoms or the molecules. Yeah, I'm going to put a link or couple in the show notes so you can learn about emergent evolution compared to creative evolution. And what are these like? Some people believe that one exists, or some people believe the other one. Could they both be true? I don't know. I need to study up on my evolution. Emerging, adjective from 1646. The synonym is the number 4 definition for emergent, which was newly formed or prominent. So emerging, adjective, is newly formed or prominent, as in emerging nations. They are currently emerging. They are becoming their own new thing. They're trying to figure out their laws and their government and all that fun stuff. Also as in an emerging artist. New artist on the scene. Ooh, what did they make? They made that thing. That's so cool. I want to buy that from them. Emerging artist. Weep, 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 weep. Could you imagine hearing these alarms on a ambulance or something? Now we are done with the emerging words. We have now emerita. E-M-E-R-I-T-A. Adjective from 1842. The synonym is emeritus, which ends in a U-S. And this is used of a woman, as in Professor Emerita Mary Smith. I have never heard of the female version of this used. I did not know it existed. Is there more information of this one? Yep, just the feminine of emeritus. So let's talk about that one. I feel like I need to get closer to the desk. Is my head getting cut off? A little bit. Should we fix that thing? Okay. Whoop, 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 whoop. The next word is emeritus, first form, noun from 1750. The plural is you replace the US with a TI and you pronounce it emeriti or emeriti. Emeritus, emeriti, emeriti, ha 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 ha. Okay, emeritus. One retired from professional life, but permitted to retain as an honorary title the rank of the last office held. Boy, that's a weird way to word that. So they're retired, but they still get to keep the title of the last job they had. Professor emeritus. So I guess you're like, I don't work as a professor anymore, but I get to be called a professor, but you got to use the word emeritus because I'm done working. No more work for me. I guess maybe I will someday be a podcaster emeritus. Is that a thing? Can you do that? So the emerita with an A is a female lady woman who is retired, but I don't know if we need these genderized words, and I don't know how often they get used anyway. Next is emeritus second form. This one's the adjective from 1794. 1. Holding after retirement an honorary title corresponding to that held last during active service. It's the same thing, but it's the adjective form. You use it describing somebody, I guess. But how do you use this one in context? So I guess this is the one where you would say professor emeritus, because number 2 is retired from an office or position, as in professor emeritus. And so the emeritus, the first form, that's the noun, that's the person who is the emeritus, and then you describe them as professor emeritus or whatever the example is. Podcaster emeritus, president emeritus. Only things that start with P, I guess. It also says converted to emeriti after a plural. So if you're talking about a whole bunch of professors who have retired, then they would be professors emeriti or professors emeriti. This is from the Latin verb emerere, which means to serve out one's term. To serve out one's term. That is from E plus merere, which is from merere, which means to earn or deserve or serve. And there's more at the word merit. So you are serving your time, you're doing your duty, and so that's what it is. You're like, I've done my work. I've done it all. And so now I can be called an emeritus or an emerita. Or all of us can be emeriti or emeriti. All together now. Woo, 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 woo. Next is immersed. E-M-E-R-S-E-D. I am immersed in this dictionary podcast show. Maybe that's what this show should be called. It's the dictionary podcast. It's the show. It's the dictionary. It's the podcast dictionary show. I don't know. Adjective from 1686. Standing out of or arising above a surface. And that's not what I thought this word was at all. I think the word I was thinking of starts with an I. Immersed. Nope, not this one. This is why English sucks. E-M-E-R-S-E-D. Immersed is standing out or arising above a surface, just like all the emerge words. And the example of what the surface would be, it was like a fluid, possibly a fluid, as in immersed aquatic weeds. It's kind of the opposite of the word that I thought it was. Immersed would be like all up in it, and this one is coming out of it. That's a good way to think about it. There's no etymology. I think it's all related to the emerge words. Woo, woo, wee, 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 woo. Immersion is next. Noun from 1633, an act of emerging. And the synonym is emergence. Yep, immersion. Oh, that plant is going through immersion because it's popping out of the water. Or maybe above the trees. Boy, these are probably really irritating to your heads. Next word is emery or emery. 2 syllables or 3. E-M-E-R-Y. Noun from the 15th century. This is A dark granular mineral that consists of corundum with iron oxide impurities as magnetite and is used as an abrasive. Also, a hard abrasive powder is also called emery. This is from, oh boy, Anglo-French, emeril, from Old Italian, smiriglio. I don't know if they say the G there. Smiriglio, from Middle Latin, smiriglum, from Greek, smirid or smiris, and it doesn't tell me what any of these words mean. But what I'm noticing is, if we go back to the previous episode, I think it was emerald. Yes, emerald also came from Greek and other things, and it starts with an SM. So somewhere, same with these, emery starts with an SM, the Greek, the Middle Latin, the Old Italian. So somewhere along the line, the SM became an EM, and I find that fascinating. And hopefully I'll be able to get that guy Kevin on for the English episode, because he's got the podcast, the History of English podcast, and maybe he knows what happened there. It's so interesting. Maybe they didn't pronounce it as an SM? I don't know. Let's see. So yeah, it doesn't say what any of these words mean, but it must be something about dark something, abrasive. That seems like a big thing here. Dark granular mineral that consists of corundum with iron oxide impurities and is used as an abrasive. Gotta file things down. And this next thing is connected. Woo 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 woo. Emery board, 2 words. Noun from 1725. A cardboard nail file covered with emery. I guess it's a good thing to file down your nails. Are there nail files that, yes, there are nail files that don't have emery. It's just like the metal is like cut in to make it rough, but maybe emery boards are the best ones. I don't know why. Because it's designed to be abrasive. I don't know if I've ever used an emery board. Maybe. Whip, 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 whip. Next is emesis or emesis. E-M-E-S-I-S. Noun from circa 1847. This is an act or instance of vomiting. Oh, fun. Oh, I got the emesis coming. Oh. Sorry, that was a terrible, weird joke. Yeah, emesis. It doesn't have any etymology, really. Doesn't say, but it looks like it's from the Greek emein, which I'm guessing is something related to vomiting. Why don't we use this one? An act or instance of vomiting. Oh, what would be the past of this? I just emesised. No, this is a noun. It's not a verb. I just had an emesis. Is that, I'm gonna emesis. Emesis. I guess emesis, though. That's the other way to say it. Emesis. Can you please use this? Let's do this. Next is emetic. E-M-E-T-I-C. Noun from 1657. This is related to our last word. An agent that induces vomiting. And emetic is also an adjective. What sort of agent could this be? A secret agent? This is where we get the etymology. This is from the Greek emetiki, which is from emetikos, which means causing vomiting, which is from emein, which means to vomit, and there's more at the word vomit. So emetic. I want to see what is an emetic. I want to find out what specific agent this is. But I don't know. I think it's probably just going to give me the definition. Yeah. What's an example of an emetic? Let's see. Oh, no, the motion of the boat. No. Well, that, I guess, yeah, the motion of the boat. If you're in a storm, that could be an emetic, because that's an agent that might make you barfy barf. Tuna sandwich. These are the examples that people are giving. Okay, so yeah, just anything that makes you barfy, makes you throw up, upchuck. I always like that phrase. It would be an emetic. Sometimes my face might be an emetic. And then you have to go to the emergency room in an ambulance, which sounds like woo 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 woo. Next word is emetine. Emetine. Noun from 1819. An emetic alkaloid, C29H40N2O4, extracted from ipecac root and used especially to treat amoebiasis. What's amoebiasis? Amoebiasis. So this seems like it would be something maybe that would be related to vomiting. Amoebiasis is an intestinal illness caused by a little parasite. Okay, so what is emetine? Emetine. Used to treat amoebiasis. So maybe if you got this this little parasite, you maybe need to throw up to maybe help get rid of the symptoms or something. That's what I'm guessing, because it's an emetic alkaloid. So yeah, it's gonna make you barf. Did not know this is where we were going in this episode. Okay, we have one more word here today. The next word is, I hope I pronounced this right, it is émeute. I don't know how to say that. I think it's very French. Émeute. Maybe it's like that. Emeute. And the first E has an accent that goes boop. Émeute. This is a noun from 1782. The synonym is uprising. So maybe when the revolution happens, there will be an uprising, and it will be an émeute. This is clearly French, because I don't know how to say it. And it is from Old French, which has an S in there, which means act of starting. And also from the verb émeuvoir, which means to start. And there's more the word emotion. So it's all about starting a thing, the beginning of it. Émeute. So it's the thing. It's the thing that maybe starts a thing, or the beginning of a thing is the émeute. That's all I got. Okay, let's now reread the words and pick a word of the episode. And I wish I had a song for the word of the episode, but it's sort of fun to say a new one sometimes. But it's the same word, so it's hard to think of something new. Word of the episode. Word of the episode. We had emergency medical technician. We had emergency medicine. Emergency room. Emergent. Emergent. Emergent evolution. Emerging. Emerita. Emeritus. Emeritus. Immersed. Immersion. Emery. Emery board. Emesis. Emetic. Emetine. And émeute. Okay, well. The emergency room and emergency medicine, those are pretty important. Possibly going to pick one of those. I'm also fascinated by emesis, the act or instance of vomiting. I think we need to, not be so, we should talk about this stuff. Anything that's sort of weird and gross about bodies and whatever, it's like we shouldn't not talk about them. So emetic, I think that's funny, interesting, fascinating. But maybe let's just pick emergency room as the word of the episode, and I'll see if I can come up with a fun song, a short fun song. And of course, if you want to make up your own song for the word of the episode that I pick, or your own, go ahead and email me the audio file. dictionarypod@gmail.com. I don't want to go to the emergency room, even though I lost my arm. That's fine. All right, let's now talk about another movie I watched. Let's see. Bowfinger. Yeah, Bowfinger. Hadn't seen this movie in quite a lot of years. It's from 1999. So yeah, it probably had been at least 20 years since I had seen this. It's a very silly, fun movie. I watched it 2 or 3 times around when it came out, and it's about making a very independent, cheap movie in Hollywood. Um, and there's some weird, it's just a very weird, silly movie, and like nothing makes sense really. Would never happen. There are things that are like not no, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But you just got to go with the flow and relax and be like, just enjoy the fun movie ride. That's all it is. And it's very silly. Eddie Murphy is in it, and I heard that Steve Martin rewrote the role once Eddie Murphy got hired, which is kind of amazing. And I would really love to know what the role was like before he got involved. But Eddie Murphy is Eddie Murphy, so he just kills it. Okay, that is the end of this episode. Thank you very much for listening and possibly watching on the YouTube. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.